Hi, I'm back again. I know, I just never shut up. Right, I want to know if you have a bucket list. I myself don't really refer to it as a bucket list because then that kind of like gives the impression that I'm going to die, and I don't want to die. And it's just, that's negative and sad, and we don't want to think about death. So instead I refer to it as my life list because it's things that I want to do whilst I am alive, unless we manage to carry on doing stuff when we're dead, but I don't know if we do, so I'm going to cram as much in as possible now, just in case I don't get to do anything when I'm dead. I find these lists really difficult to do because I want to do everything, like literally everything. I don't care what it is, I will try it because I just want to do the stuff, just everything. Just if you invite me to come and do something, I will give it a go, I will do it. I don't care what it is. Nothing sounds boring to me. I think there's something wrong in my head, but that's fine because I enjoy doing the stuff. It doesn't matter what it is. Like I say, I'll come and do it. So yeah, but it is really infuriating when I know that I don't have the time to do everything. I want to live forever so that I can do everything, which I know is not really possible at the moment, but it's the only way I would get to do everything. There's a word for it and I can't remember what it is, and I was going to look it up and I didn't, and I could look it up now. I just had a look and I can't find it. It came up with so many other things that had nothing to do with what I was saying. But there is a list, there's a website that has all these words for things, like a feeling or things that don't ordinarily have a word, or you've never known there was a word for it. Obviously at the moment I can't think of any examples, but I will try to think of some. I'll try and find the website and I'll link it into this description because it is really a good website and they're all good words that never get used on a regular basis and should. So there's a word for what I'm talking about where you want to do everything but you're aware that you will never get to do. You're aware that you'll never get to do everything. There will come a time, obviously, when you die. So the small list that I have, my life list, it changes constantly because if I was to write out everything that I wanted to do, it would just go on forever. And there's lists everywhere. There's one on my blog. I've got a couple of them written down at home somewhere. I think there's one on my phone. They're everywhere and they've all got different things on them. But the one in particular that my original one that I'd written I've written it down because, and again, another one here because I'd forget. So there was rope bridge. I have now done that one. We crossed a rope bridge in Ireland with me and a couple of my friends. So that one is done. Tick. I also wanted to visit the Louvre or however you say it. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Pointy Museum in Paris. You know which one I mean, where the Mona Lisa is. Did that one with another couple of friends, and so that is big tick. That's on my list, which also was to go to that museum and to see the Mona Lisa, so that was 2. So yay. One that's been on my list since I was probably about 8 or 9 is to visit the pyramids in Egypt. I have not done this one yet and it's kind of moved down my list. It's not up there anymore, but I still would like to go. I did have a chance to go once when I was 15. We were on holiday in Cyprus, me and my mum and a couple of friends of ours, and there was an excursion for us to go on a 3-day cruise to Egypt, but unfortunately at the time my nana, my mum's mum, she'd said that she didn't want us to go because she had a bad feeling about it, and her bad feelings in the past had come true and she was a bit weird like that, so we didn't go. But then my friend and her mum had gone. They were on holiday with us, and when they came back they did say it was quite a scary experience because it was quite a dangerous area to be in, and yeah, but never mind, I'll go one day. It's fine, hopefully, maybe. If not, meh. Okay, next one. I want to drive Route 66. I know that this is something that a lot of people have on their lists and it's quite mainstream and blah, but I want to do it. I also want to visit the crossroads where apparently Robert Johnson sold his soul to the devil. Robert Johnson was a musician, and there's not much of his music around because he died at quite a young age, probably because he sold his soul to the devil. He wanted to play in this band with these 2 blokes, and they were like, no, go away, shit. And so he went away, and instead of, you know, taking the time to practice like a normal person, he thought, I'll go sell my soul to the devil, why not? So he went to this place and sold his soul and came back, and he was awesome, and they were like, whoa, yeah, you can be in our band. And that was how it went, and then he died. So yeah, that's why I want to go there. And also, he's really creepy looking. I don't know what he looked like before he sold his soul to the devil, but in the photos I've seen of him, he looks like he did sell his soul to the devil. So go and look for him, Robert Johnson, and listen to his music as well, because it's weird, but it's cool, it's good. Okay, next one is I want to visit Bali and do the whole yoga retreat thing. And again, I know it's one of those things where everyone goes, oh yeah, I want to go to Bali, and I don't care that everyone else wants to do it. I want to go and experience it for myself as well. Can you imagine if we just had one person that went off and did everything and then came back and told us how good or how shit it was, and then we went, nah, I don't want to bother because he's done it. That we'd never go anywhere or do anything. So don't tell me that I should come up with original ideas of what I want to do. I want to do these things because I want to do these things. So get over it. Another one that is this is quite a big one that's on my list, is to hike the PCT. The PCT is the Pacific Crest Trail, or the Pacific Coast Trail, which is on the west coast of America. Never eat shredded wheat. So you've got north is Canada, east is New York, south is Florida, west is California. And I know that Canada is not in America, but I use it on my compass, my imaginary compass map that's in front of my face, that's not really there, it's in my head. Isn't that weird when you think of something in your head and you can see it in front of your face, but it's not actually there, it's in your head? But that's what I mean. So it's on the west coast, and it goes from the desert of the name that I want to say the Mojave Desert, but I feel like that's wrong. But it's the desert anyway, and it goes all the way up to the top, up to Canada, possibly. It goes up to the top anyway, which is Oregon, Washington. It's somewhere up there. It's long anyway. It's like 2,500 miles. I don't even know if that's right. It's long. I don't want to hike the whole thing, just a little bit of it. I'd love to do the whole thing, but it costs so much money, and you'd need about 3 months to do it, and it's dangerous. So I'm planning like a 3-day hike with a friend of mine for maybe in like 10 years time, and that'll be enough. Okay, the next one is a bit random, but again, these are things obviously that I want to do for my own reasons. It is to visit the tree from the Shawshank Redemption. Now, I may be making this up, but I think I did read online somewhere that the tree isn't there anymore, but I could have just totally made that up, I don't know. But yeah, I want to go visit that. There's loads of things that I have where I've seen something in a film and think, right, I'm going to go there, and it'd be an entire trip. It's like 3,000 miles across the world just for me to go visit this one door or something. Pretty much like visiting the Friends building or the Sex and the City Carrie's house in New York, which is what I did when I went to New York, but that was not the only reason I was there. So that's not as mad, I suppose. The reason I was there is because I was going to see the screening of a film that I was in. For like a split second. If you blink, you'll miss me. But I was still in it. So that is what is on my list at the moment. I will keep adding and taking away and tweaking it, and then, you know, doing stuff and then thinking, oh, that should have actually been on my list, but yeah. So what's on your list? I want to know. And what do you think of mine? And I will be back next week with something else. I can't remember what it will be, but I'm sure it will be just as exciting as this. Okay, bye!